This program is brought to you by the Government Communication and Information System.
Good evening, South Africa. My name is Busisiwe Gumede-Chizhanje, your guide on Citizens Connect. Tonight, we embark on a journey into the world of small businesses where dreams are made, crushed, and revived. What are the challenges that are faced by entrepreneurs? Is government stepping up? And what solutions should be explored?
I'm a beauty salon, actually, in a barber shop. Started doing hair about 15 years ago. Due to lack of finance, I actually wanted to be a lawyer.
Igama usihle isibongo wakaMagubane ngazalelwa eNkandla esigodini sakaKhanyile ngokuhlala ngihlala la eGoli eJohannesburg and thina sikhanda icoffee from kuma green coffee beans to a free finished product, which is roasted beans.
One thing that I over the years is that business is not easy. Everything is just like from the outside that easy, but it's actually not. I remember one time the guy, my previous boss, when I started into this business, one day business here, how to understand. Hey, I understand right now. It's like having a lot of kids. But let me know where else you want to was
Ngaphambi kwe-COVID besinabantu kade besebenzela kwi-company kuma-coffee shop ayi-5 bebeyi-23. So kuthe mangabe kuqala i-COVID kwa-cost ukuthi sisebenze nabo kodwa siluze too much, then sa-end up siwakhatha siwavala wonke ama-coffee shop ethu nabantu kade besebenza bebeyi-23 sesisele nabantu abayi-5 kulo 23.
Ever since Kikaletse Yaka Salon, which it's now about 7 years since I've built up the brand, and then having my own establishment as a salon, it's about 3 years, this place. I've never actually received anything from government or anything. I had to save the little bit of money that I had each and every time when I had a gig or get someone to Muriri in order to build this place. So it was not easy. It was not easy. Even not having enough information, where do we go, where do we start, how to even register a company, it's quite hard.
Yes, we did receive help from the government. We received equipment. Ngicabanga ukuthi basincede kwaze kwaba kabili, whereby basincede nge-coffee roaster baphinde basinceda nge-packaging machine through iSEDA, iSEDA small business for SMMEs. But there is a lot ekufanele ngabe basiza khona ngoba ekugcineni sidinga i-working capital yokuthi sikwazi ukuqhubeka sisebenze. Sifuna ukuthenga i-raw material asikwazi ukuyithenga. Post COVID, obviously kufanele ukuthi ube blacklisted as a company through ama-coffee shop. So some of those things angeke ukwazi ukuyikhipha ngoba blacklisted, and then angeke ukwazi uhambe uyotsheleka imali ngoba blacklisted through ama-landlord. They never gave us i-break yokuthi okay, go through during i-COVID uyenzile imali noma awuyenzanga imali. They knew ukuthi asiyenzanga ama-coffee shop and then all ama-industry elento okudla ebengekho allowed ukuthi ba-operate even besebevuliwe, but bekwama-drive-through. Thina we never had i-drive-through. So that means bengena one client at a time, later to i-risk izophuza 1 cup of coffee, and then the whole day you make under 100 rand for the whole day, which rent yakhona it was 35,000 plus, whereby ayisenzi lapho ne.
Yeah, what's there's a lot. basic information how do you start? School, where do you go? Where do you learn? Finance, SARS, in total just basic information on Ukala business, because of later in the years, since the businesses are registered, that's why the funding, SARS is behind your back, account how Juang. About information enough. Information enough, it's not only TV. But to can go to small businesses, sit them down, ask them, business are registered. How do we do it? How can we help you do it? What can change to make sure you are well equipped to run a full running business?
The system esigiyona right now in South Africa is very bad. Not South Africa as a whole, in a financial sector. Yonke into it was built ukuthi abantu bangakwazi ukurise beyond ama expectation.
As we've begun to unravel the complex tapestry of small businesses in South Africa, the stories of Sihle and Karabo resonate not just as isolated incidents, but as reflections of the challenges and aspirations shared by countless entrepreneurs nationwide. After the break, we'll dive even deeper into the heart of entrepreneurship, exploring the stories, insights, and inspirations that define the small business landscapes in our nation. Citizens Connect will be right back. Most of them die in the first 3 years of existence. And no, I'm not talking about plants or animals. I'm talking about South Africa's small businesses. And the majority of them are owned by young entrepreneurs. So what's the secret of staying afloat? What are the challenges? And is government funding even assisting? Already, of course, you have met our two entrepreneurs. That is Sihle Makubane, who is the owner and founder of Sihle's Brew, as well as Karabo Poshane, who is the owner of King Kata, a salon in Soweto. But also joining us now is Lwazi Khoza, who is the head of communications at the National Youth Development Agency, also known as the NYDA. Sisi, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
I am dying to hear more about the stories of the entrepreneurs that we have here today. Gentlemen, mhlambe ngaqala ngawe Sihle. Most of us sivele nje sithenge ikhofi elijwayelekile siphuze ekhaya kodwa asicabangi ukuthi mhlambe nami ngaba ne brand yami yekofi. Ifike kanjani leyo idea leyo kuwe?
I-brand yecoffee ifike la khona mangabe ngiqala bengisebenza kwi-company engangisebenza yonke into fully taken care, you can name it, company car yonke into, it was done, yonke into icabangayo, i-package ibe good ne. But because bengine passion ye coffee, and then since ngaliphuza lelo coffee alisukanga emqondweni wami.
Abutuaka, what inspired you gore uqale salon ya hao?
To be honest, nane ke batla ba lawyer wa tsebo.
Batung.
So one thing led to another. I can't say but then
Lwazi, I think for me it's interesting because they are in different industries. Godwa mabakhuluma nje ngeitori zabo, ngeexperience yabo. Iyabonisa ukuthi you don't just go into entrepreneurship. Into iyona ikhetha wena. Yeah, isenhlizweni and ikhetha wena, Is that some of the stories that you hear from the young people that you sponsor, that you guide as the NYDA?
Absolutely. Intsha esihlangane nayo uthola ukuthi they've either come across a skill or they have taught themselves a skill because they have found some form of passion in it, and they then now want to monetize that. And we then come in to assist that. But you can see, Uti, a lot of this is anchored on uthando lwento abayenzayo.
Ngicabanga ukuthi i-conversation esinayo ne-NYDA, they still need more to do more in terms of assisting abantu.
Ngifuna sibambe le ndaba le ye-COVID ukuthi kahle kahle wena waphatheka kanjani ngaleso sikhathi leso
musubona ukuthi abantu kumele mhlambe ubaxoshe ebhizinisini nabantu abakusebenzelayo olaba bebakusebenzela futhi nje iphupho lakho lokuthi ukhule as usomabhizinisi iyakuphatha kanjani lento leyo?
Yo, yashintsha impilo, lokho kwashintsha impilo yami, everything, even nokucabanga nayo yonke into, nokwenza yonke into. Ngiyakhumbula hleli phansi ngenza ama-application, ngithi okay, this is the only chance enginayo to apply and then to apply ama-assistant through government. But kukhona lokho, i-stress enganginaso, obviously ngangingakhona ukulala ebusuku, in the middle of night bengivuka. For me, night and day was the same thing.
It was frustrating because of now food is running out. It was quite stressful, especially kabana.
Lwazi, these are some of the issues that entrepreneurs had to overcome, especially during the times of COVID-19. Kodwa akuphelelanga lapho. Currently, osomabhizinisi are still dealing with more challenges, and most of them are caused by load shedding. Load shedding bahlukumeza kakhulu. Do you see them coming to the NYDA seeking funds to help them deal with that ripple effect?
Absolutely. There are a number of young people who have come forward to say my business is being affected by the lack of power supply that we have in the country, and those young people have been encouraged to apply for our voucher program. So the NYDA voucher program has got a funding threshold between the value of 6,600 and 19,800 rand. So what that then allows is that for them to be able to source secondary power supplies. So that would range from either an inverter installation or a generator. So a lot of young people have come forward and applied for that voucher program.
One conversation in especially in my ears, because of the youth is very intelligent, but the lack of information, it's a situation very difficult. So yeah, so you must just get out into the public, but for youth information, and so everybody can know what to do whenever they want to open up a business.
Karabo, wana notse baka voucher program ya NYDA?
Nope, actually, to be honest, because of now. The biggest challenge I keep facing, it was through the winter season of last year, where Nekidula about 8 hours without electricity. Imagine you coming to work at 8, the electricity is off. It's gonna switch on around 2 o'clock, then it goes again around about 4 o'clock.
But sihle wena bowazi mhlambe ngale voucher program ye NYDA?
Cha, bengazi nge-voucher, and then ulwazi oluningi besingakwazi ukulithola. Ama-coupon, it's good for ama-startup, which is I'm grateful for i-idea yakhona, and then at least khona la bakumitha khona. But efficiency kangakanani ukuthi asize abantu ne iyona into eyinkinga kumina ne.
I do think that as an agency we have the responsibility to ensure that every young person knows about us. However, another challenge that we then face is that we do not have the resource and the powers to service every other young person, and these are the honest conversations that we need to have. I mean, Sike raised a point about the time that it takes for you to even get a response, the time that it takes for you to know how far your application in a government agency has gone. Those are things that we're working on as an agency to say, how do we ensure that young people get to experience the NYDA in a positive light?
And generally, what's the turnaround time of getting a loan or funding approved?
So ideally, you are meant to apply, and within 30 days from your application, you're meant to receive a response. And 30 days from response, you then are meant to either receive the goods if you have requested X amount of goods for whatever form of business you're in, or you are then meant to receive the funds in your account.
In 60 days, ngine problem right now. Why don't you give me a solution right now? Your coupon, by the time you figure generator, there's a possibility that I can take the generator and get because I need to recoup and pay rent.
Sihle, as we close this this conversation, are you feeling optimistic ukuthi business yakho izoya futhi ngokukhula, irrespective of the challenges that you faced as an entrepreneur?
I'm a grant. It can be all grant, this grant, that grant, it's fine. That is a temporal solution. But where is the fixed solution ezokhona ukusenza sibe South Africa? So let's take out a red tape, kuwo wonke imkhakha ekhona.
Sure. Karabo?
What's about Sihle said everything.
We have heard from our entrepreneurs about the many challenges, but also the hopes and dreams going forward. You're still watching Citizens Connect. After the break, we speak then to the Minister of Small Business Development, Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. Stay with us. You're still watching Citizens Connect, and we have been reflecting on the journey of entrepreneurs, touching on the challenges that they face on a daily basis. And here to help us take that conversation forward is the Minister of Small Business Development, that is Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. Thank you, ma, for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. And of course, greetings to all the viewers of Citizen Connect.
You are no stranger to the challenges that are faced by entrepreneurs in our country. According to you, yini kahle kahle ehlukumeza umasobhizinisi kakhulu?
Well, I think okokuqala ehlukumezayo is crime that our business are faced with, especially the small ones. The second aspect is access to markets. There are those that would say, Minister, I've started my product, I was assisted by this and that, or I spent my own money, but my product is ready for market, but then there's lots of red tapes when I must take it to market. The last element that people don't pay attention to is to how to stay in business. When they've been given an opportunity, they're given money, they are supported, or they have money, they have access to markets, but how do they then sustain their businesses?
One thing that I've noticed is that people up there,
Minister Yang Mangaza ukuthi awukakakhulumi nge-load shedding mhlambe. We had the pleasure of talking to entrepreneurs just now, and that is the biggest concern for them.
Definitely it is the biggest concern, hence I also mentioned the issue of how do you stay in business? Because for you to stay in business, it means you must have the entire ecosystem, whether it's infrastructure, being functional for you. Therefore, the impact of load shedding has really had negative results to our businesses, both big and small, actually. And this is why we sat as cabinet and said, there's a need for us to provide urgent interventions through one of our programs that we called the Informal Micro Enterprise Development Program. We then said you are allowed to apply for a generator if you want a generator, so that it then comes in as an intervention whilst government is trying to address the challenges that we're faced with.
That was going to lead me to my next question, ukuthi mhlambe logo kusho ukuthini in real terms for an entrepreneur in the Kasi, for example, or in a rural area.
Abosipho, abase-salon, abo-Chisanyama, all those ones are micro businesses. Bonke, they just go to the municipality, abahlala kuyo, ku-area bakuyo, they go to the LED unit, or they go to a CEDA office, and then they apply for this program that I talk about. But also, there's another fund that we're running, the Township and Rural Enterprise Program, which is meant specifically to provide financing for township and rural-owned businesses or operating businesses. Again, as part of the scheme, that they're able to structure on what is it that they need, and then they're able to apply for that particular funding, wherein they go, whether they put in energy alternatives or they buy generators.
I don't think it's enough. They can do more. Again, it goes back to having people on the ground. Eseng batho batlang a piece of the pie whenever as somebody else's business it's a hantle because of they believe or two seats. I think that's when it all goes wrong because of corruption and everything.
Why do you think there is a pushback? I wouldn't even call it a pushback, but a reluctance on the part of entrepreneurs to get, papers sorted and the things in order.
There's too much red tape. The cost towards compliance in South Africa is very expensive, which is what we are trying to address as things stand. If you are to be compliant, you've got to go and register at CIPC, or if you have access to online, you do that. You must go to the Department of Labor to be compliant with UIF. You must go to the municipality to get certain things, and all the other people's stats and all of that. And this is why we said it's high time that we reduce the red tape so that people can see the need to have a one-stop shop center that provides all of that at the tip of their fingers in terms of the device that they have.
So I think ezinye izinto ezikhulunywa yiminister good on paper and then in practicality, in theoretically, but in practically, I don't see it happening efficiently.
Developing a platform or a portal that integrates all the SMME ecosystem players. That's one thing. The second thing, ensuring that we merge CIFA, CIDA and CPTA and create a one-stop center physical building in the areas where people are at, to say where we don't have presence, we do co-locations by working with certain offices so that people can be able to access the service. All of this are done to make sure that people can have ease of access to the information and the products that we are offering.
And are these simply ideas or something that the department is expecting to roll out, something that you're just thinking about?
It's not a thought. It's in place. We're about to launch the portal now because we partnered with CSIR. Because as I said, we didn't want it to just be a department because the ecosystem is bigger than us. So we needed everybody's approval, and then we are finalizing. We'll be launching soon.
Minister, what would you say to an entrepreneur who's watching this? COVID aside, new plans coming in place aside, who's struggling to stay afloat and feeling like the whole world is just swallowing them?
I would say as an entrepreneur, you've taken an action. You worked on your own idea. There was nobody to hold your hand. You can't give up on your own dream.
We do need this show to open up, where can we get information? The only thing we suffer more businessing, it's lack of information. That's it. So we need such shows.
We need the show to express our views and our own opinion. Because what I said, opinion yam.
So brother, sister, you can't give up now. Soldier on. We are here with you as government and as the private sector of this country.
All right, thank you so much, Minister. That was, of course, the Minister of Small Business Development, Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams. And the message is quite clear. The challenges are there, but hang in there. This was Citizens Connect. Thank you so much for joining us.